Apparently, this guy right here is like the new owner of this website, and this guy apparently is he's Jewish. He's a rabbi. So okay, you know how everybody nowadays is pretending like they care about the Roman Empire and all that stuff. They're always like, man, I'm just thinking about the Roman Empire. Well, look, this is the Roman Empire, right? You know what was happening when this whole empire was losing? So the governors or whoever was like controlling this entire empire, they used to literally create like circuses like these, and they would add people inside, and then those people would have like fights and stuff, like games, so that the entire time the Roman Empire was like going through like its worst time, the citizens of the empire were all distracted. They were all distracted by the fun, by the circuses, by the food that was happening. And so it makes you wonder, it's like, why were they distracting them? Like, what was the purpose? Like, why can't they just leave them and then tell them the actual truth? And Habibi, it's literally because of this reason right here. It's the exact reason why they used to make these circuses so available, and it's the same reason why some armies, right, when they used to go and conquer other places, they would make this thing right here super available. They would literally start making like nudity in the streets super available. And why is that? It's just because of this right here, like this exact image right here. So look, isn't that so sad? Like this right here is you, and then this right here is what happens when you can't sleep at night and you start to get the urge of like taking out your phone and just searching up whatever you feel. Habibi, like this is such a big issue that we have nowadays, and you might not see like this exact figure or this exact entity like leeching off of you when you're doing it. But trust me, like it's actually happening. Like Habibi, not only does this whole thing like ruin your dopamine receptors and all that stuff, everybody has already told you that this thing actually ruins your dopamine receptors. But it's not only just ruining your dopamine receptors. Like, do you realize there are actually guys out there who claim that they're not gay, and yet they still watch videos of other guys' private parts? Like, Habibi, what the heck are you guys doing? So this thing right here, not this guy, but this thing right here, and this guy actually, this is, Habibi, this is literally like a military weapon. Like, you know how nowadays they have like weapons that like control weather, weapons that cause earthquakes and all that stuff. This is such a hidden weapon that they use. These people know that you have a soul, so all they're trying to do is destroy that soul. They know the power of your soul. They know how much you can do if you just have awareness that you actually have this power within you. But this thing right here is destroying all that power. So you're going to be living like all your life, and especially your teenage life, you're going to be living through all of that, not even experiencing this power at all. And you know what's sad too? Like, let's just say right now you're doing online business, like you're doing dropshipping, like copywriting, YouTube, literally anything. Let's say you're doing all that stuff. And so what happens when most people are like going through the motions of the business and then they start experiencing like just a little failure, what happens is that the majority of people, what they do is that as soon as they experience the failure, they actually they reward themselves for it. So what happens is that any little failure they experience, immediately they just go down to this path. They open up their phone and they start watching what this guy is giving. So you know what happens when like a winner actually experiences failure? Bro, these people, they realize that, dang, right now I need to start becoming even more disciplined. Right now I need to start hitting the gym even more. I gotta start eating even more. I have to actually become like disciplined with my prayers even more. So Habibi, like if you're actually like addicted to this thing, honestly bro, like you should actually be ashamed of this. Because what happens is that first of all, you have no more fear of Allah. And this is exactly what these people want. They literally want to kill your fear of Allah. You have no more connection with your creator. You're living your entire life through guilt. So what happens is that when you're living your day-to-day through guilt, this guilt is actually manifesting in your daily life. So you'll notice that everything you do, there's no more blessings in it. There's no more actual like energy in it, just because you're doing it from a place of guilt. And even worse is that when you go past the guilt, when you keep doing it over and over again, when every single time you just keep touching yourself because of pixels on screen, the more you keep doing that, the more this guilt, you're going to start like suppressing it. So you'll live your whole life with suppressed guilt. And that's even worse than like actual guilt. So if right now you're experiencing a bunch of problems and nothing's actually working out for you, this is the reason. There's so much suppression going on to the point that right now, your daily life, it keeps being like manifested in a way where it's just filled with guilt. Once you stop following what this guy is showing, and you should actually be ashamed. Like, do you realize that as you're watching this whole thing right here, there's people just like this guy behind the screen who have mastered the art of keeping your attention every single time. So they tell these girls what they do. They tell these girls like how to sit, how to act, and the guys like to like certain angles and stuff like that. And so these people, their whole goal is for you to just keep getting hooked on this thing. So you think that you're just watching like pretty girls and stuff, but behind the screen, These guys are literally sitting like this with their sweaty armpits and stuff, and they're just like, we got him. Like, bro, should that not piss you off? Should you not be ashamed of that? And what's even sadder is that the more you're actually hooked on this thing right here, the more that you actually enjoy watching other people getting success over you. Like, you know what I mean by success, right? Like, you're just basically rewiring your brain to the point that you only enjoy seeing other people do it and not you. And this is why you see all the people, like literally, Habibi, you see all the people that are actually hooked on this thing, they never actually end up doing it themselves, which is so sad. So do you realize how that's actually making you, like, it's actually making you gay? Like, I actually don't understand, Habibi. Like, some of you guys are actually enjoying seeing other people's, like private parts, and you're not realizing it's like, wait, like, this is actually making me gay. And no, like, don't be coming here and telling me it's like, oh, well, what's wrong with being gay? Okay, fine, nothing's wrong with it. But you're gonna start, like, doing stuff like this? And also the biggest thing is that most of the time, when people are, like, addicted to this thing, Habibi, when you're always feeling uncomfortable, or when you're feeling bored, or once again, like, when you go through, like, just some like, small failure, and immediately you just go and open up your phone and you go through, like, this horrible act, what happens is that you don't realize that there's a reason why you started feeling uncomfortable. There's a reason why you started feeling like this boredom, or like this like guilt, or this failure. And so when you actually sit down and you start like going through this negative feeling within you, and you don't just immediately try to go and suppress it through this horrible evil thing right here, what happens is that on the other side of you sitting down with the uncomfortable feeling, with the negative emotion, on the other side, there's actually light. But what's so sad is that most people, they literally suppress this feeling within them, so they never get to actually experience what's on the other side. So all they do is they just take their phone, start scrolling, or start smoking some weed, or go through this like stupid freaking website. So they never actually experience the joy on the other side of this negative feeling. So listen, whenever you're actually experiencing like some small failure, or you're just sitting down and you're sad, or like some guy hurt your feelings, or some girl actually hurt your feelings, and the very first thing you're thinking of is just that, oh, let me just take out my phone, and it's so easy, let me just search up whatever I want. As soon as you start doing that, just realize like there's gold on the other side that you didn't go and take. And so every single moment, like, Allah is actually testing you. Like, not only is Allah testing you, it's like, do you have the discipline now? Do you have the actual like God consciousness now? Or are you immediately going to go and realize that, oh, like Allah is not even watching me, and you're just going to go and do it? So every single time you're being tested, if you just go through the test, man, if you just go through the test, this is when you're going to be having like your biggest breakthroughs, as opposed to you immediately like suppressing those feelings and going through your phone. And bro, like just the fact that there's like an entire industry, because I noticed there's like an entire industry that helps people how to quit this horrible habit right here. And so the fact that there's like an entire industry of people actually making money from helping others not touching their freaking ding dong, the fact that there is such a thing just shows you how bad most men are. So if you don't have like such addiction, you should be happy. But the fact that there's so many just shows you how easy success actually is. Like, do you not realize there's actually people that just can't help themselves but actually like just touch themselves? Like, they literally find it hard to not touch themselves. And you know what's so funny too is that if I meet someone, Habibi, like, I can immediately know if they're addicted to this habit or not. So if I can do it, everybody else can. So when you're meeting people, immediately, especially girls, by the way, immediately they know, like, this guy is actually addicted to this horrible habit. And so as a result, I just don't want to be around him. And this is done at like a subconscious level. So not only like you can't even be getting girls, but like you can't even be gaining success. Like, Habibi, this is haram. This is why this is completely haram. And so think about it. Think about it. Back in the day, in order for you to actually be able to like see an actual woman's body, like, you had to go through so much. You literally had to go through like war. You have to go through like the father of the girl. You have to like go through achievements, like get this girl a house and stuff like that. But nowadays, the reason why most people don't even like want to actually go and achieve stuff, or the reason why they don't even want to like actually gain success or work towards something, is just because this whole thing has gotten so much easier. So you'll notice that when you stop looking at the other sex, what's going to happen is this innate feeling within you as a man, and also as a girl, like this innate feeling within you is going to start coming back. So you'll notice that your body naturally is going to want to go and do the things that give you success. Because have you trusted me, like back then it was so hard. Now it's so easy. I'm talking about like you seeing like the opposite gender. So every time you're actually going through this horrible habit, you're convincing yourself that, oh, it's okay, I already have the achievements, because you're literally lying to your brain. It's like, look at how many girls I have on me right now, literally on command. But in reality, like, you don't. And so your soul, your spirit, just got destroyed. You don't even have like the will to actually go and gain success. Also, I was just reading a tweet right here. This guy Hassan Haidar, he was basically saying it's like another reason this thing was actually invented was to turn straight men into gay men, which is population control. And that's actually so sad. I remember literally meeting like a guy in the gym, and this guy, you can tell it's like he is not like his testosterone is not the highest, right? So I met him and I was talking to him. I'm like, well, how many kids do you want? Well, he actually asked me first, like, how many kids do you want? I'm just like, well, I was thinking 12. What about you? And he was just like, no, I don't want kids, man, because like, don't you realize the entire world is like overpopulated and stuff? And I'm like, Habibi, what? The earth is freaking huge. You're telling me it's overpopulated? So millions of straight men around the world are jerking off to another man having sex with a woman. Again, like you're feeding off other men's achievements. This should actually disgust you, bro. So look, just realize that if you're actually living through your whole day and you're feeling horny, Habibi, that's literally a blessing from Allah. The fact that you're actually feeling this way is a blessing from Allah. You do realize, like the ancient Egyptians back in the day, if they wanted to get more work done, what they would do is that they would like arouse themselves, and then once they feel aroused, then they would go and do more work, because they realize like this energy that we have within us, like this sexual energy, is so powerful. This energy is what creates life. So as opposed to you literally every single time taking this energy out for no reason, just like that, keep this energy, either only use it to actually create life or use it to create a life in a business. You need to actually learn how to penetrate the world. This is how you're gonna see like the fastest breakthroughs and the biggest breakthroughs too. So here's the thing, it's like some of you guys are gonna come to me and be like, well, Habibi, what's the solution? You keep telling us it's disgusting, and it is, but like, what's the solution? Here's your solution. First of all, any music, because you gotta cut this thing from the roots, man. So any music, stop listening to it. And I don't care if you're gonna come and tell me it's like, no, but like my music, it's good, it's not bad, it doesn't have like any sexual things. Just don't listen to it, man. Just try not to have any things that actually like put dopamine in your brain. So music, cut that off. When you walk around on the street, put your head down. Don't be looking at other people, especially other girls. Don't be looking at other girls. And by the way, this is you literally cutting it from the roots. And then third of all, like stop eating disgusting food, man. Like you realize like the food that you eat actually gives you thoughts. And by thoughts, I mean like brain thoughts, not like these type of thoughts. Like try to eat clean food, like fruits, steak, like raw milk. Like these things right here are gonna bring back your energy. But if you keep eating like the seed oil stuff or like the fast food things, these things are gonna keep putting you in a cycle, so you're never gonna stop. So you know, like usually these coaches that teach you how to stop fapping and all that, they usually tell you it's like, man, like try to find like the trigger that makes you like go to your bed and then like open up your phone and see like watch this bad habit. But there's no need for that. You don't need to find the trigger. The trigger is all these things. The food that you eat when you're walking around and then you see a woman and then you look at her, that's another trigger, so you gotta stop that. Or like the music that you listen to, that's another trigger, so you gotta stop that. And also like the tap water, man. The tap water. I told you, the tap water that we have, especially in Canada or the US, Habibi, it's actually making you gay. Trust me, like drink some tap water and then leave it and then go and drink some spring water. It's literally like a night and day difference. And trust me, I talked a lot about this, so I don't want to talk more about it. Just trust me in this video. Also, like if you have friends that all they do is this, and if you can just tell by their face, if you look at their face and you can tell they're like they have bad habits and stuff like that, Habibi, leave these friends. These friends are not for you. Just keep watching my video. I'm your friend now. No, like literally, I can actually be your friend. It's okay. So literally stop these 5 things. And then if you're like, Habibi, if you can, just go and get married. Seriously. But if you can't get married, just do what our Prophet ﷺ said. He said that if you can't get married and it's like you can't control your desires, just start fasting. And most of you guys are going to underestimate this tip, but trust me, start fasting. What's actually funny too is that when you are going to go through the fast, you'll notice that at the end of the fast, like your energy, like your sexual energy is going to start coming back. But the way it's going to start coming back, it's going to come back in a way where you're actually going to be able to control it, where you're actually going to be able to take this energy and then go and actually penetrate the world. And also, like, you got to replace this bad habit with a good habit. So the best habit that you can actually have is a habit that you can actually make money with. So if you look right here, this is basically like one of the PDFs that I have, like a video actually in the Discord, where I was literally just showing people, I'm like, how do you actually get better at copywriting? So one of the things that I was telling people is you want to be doing this exercise right here. So if you look right here, like you can actually just make this a habit, and then you'll actually, like, not only are you going to start becoming better at copywriting, but you'll replace this bad habit that you have right here with an actual good habit. So this one is that, like, start reading 1 sales letter a day. So if you don't know what a sales letter is, just, Habibi, you just go to Google, type in sales letter, and just look at like, okay, fine, this is not actually a good example. So just go on this website right here, swipe.co, and then go here and then sort everything by advertorial, and just basically read all these advertorials, man. I know some of you guys are gonna come to me and be like, man, but this is so boring. It is boring, Habibi, but I just told you, if you actually cross the boredom on the other side, there's good feelings like joy, and not only joy in this case, but like actual money. So number one is basically read a sales letter every single day. But then when you read the sales letter, take the sales letter and try to answer like these questions right here. So just say, it's like, what can we say about the people that this offer is actually targeting? So then if you look at like this one or like this one, are these mistakes holding you back and stuff like that? So just look at this and be like, who's this actually targeting? And then you can see it's like basically targeting people who are actually like interested in self-improvement. So okay, it's like we just answered this question. But then it's like, what's life like for the people that this offer is targeting? So as you're reading this, like just literally sit down and contemplate. Like, what is like the person that's reading this, what's their life like? Because what you're doing here is you're just thinking, it's like you're thinking about how this copywriter, when he wrote this stuff, what was he thinking like? And then once you do that, write 6 fascinations or bullets, like bullet points, for this sales letter by hand. Now, bullets, if you don't know what that is, a good example is that they're just literally right here. So it's like you see all these things, these are basically bullets. If you don't know what bullets are, once again, there is like a Google Doc right here in the Discord that you can just go into, but you have to be in the Discord, man. But if you don't know what that is, like just go on Google, type in copy bullets, or not copy bullets, just type in copywriting bullets, and then like read all this stuff. So this exercise will train you to write bullets and stuff like that. And you can see it's like bullets are fascinations. Well, okay, just go through this whole thing and just basically like try to learn like what are actually bullets. And so if you look right here, it's basically like things like these, things that you say, almost like YouTube titles and stuff, that basically increase the desire of the person that's actually reading. So write 6 of them that promote the sales letter. And then when you finish that, just write an email. So write an email for this exact sales letter by hand. Once again, I go through like this whole process like step by step in the Discord. You can see it right here. But just doing this alone, it's gonna first of all develop as a habit. And so you'll replace this ugly, disgusting habit with something, yes, I know it's boring and stuff, but it's something that's actually gonna help you make money. Because this is gonna help you become like a better copywriter, so that now you actually have a skill that you can take, use it online, and make money from it. Once again, Habibi, I know this is super boring. When you go through boredom, there's always good things on the other side. And especially like most success comes from like acts, like multiple numerous acts that are boring. So you're literally sitting down, going through like all these boring actions, all this boring work is what actually makes you money. So if you start replacing this with that, like how can you not succeed? So what I'm trying to say is that instead of being addicted to this thing right here, now you'll be addicted to actual success. You'll be addicted to winning. And by the way, playing chess, just so you know, playing chess, even if you like replace this thing right here with being addicted to like chess, for example, because you're doing the same thing, like you're just sitting down and you're doing stuff, right? So if you replace that with chess, trust me, man, like you'll actually become unstoppable. Like not only like your brain is going to start working a lot faster, but Habibi, like your IQ is going to go up so much higher, your competitive spirit is going to go up so much higher, you'll actually become unstoppable.